In this video we are going to talk about food and wine tourism. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. For some objections, food production as well as wine production address an essential piece of their set of experiences and personality and have turned into the critical component in the country's image picture. Gastronomy and wine. The travel industry addresses a chance to rejuvenate and expand the travel industry, advance neighborhood monetary turn of events, include a wide range of expert areas and carry new purposes to the essential area. Subsequently, gastronomy and wine. The travel industry add to advancing and marking objections, keeping up with and saving nearby practices and varieties, and outfitting and remunerating credibility. Alongside credible, customary, or potentially creative culinary encounters, gastronomy tourism may likewise include other related exercises like visiting the neighborhood makers, taking part in food celebrations, and going to cooking classes. While the travel industry, wine tourism, as a subsort of gastronomy tourism, alludes to the travel industry whose design is visiting grape plantations, wineries, tasting, polishing off, or potentially buying wine, frequently at or close to the source. Erica Croce and Giovanni Perri, educators of food and wine. The travel industry set off on a mission to look at the relationship and cooperation between what is depicted as enogastronomic, the travel industry, and food and wine creation in food and wine tourism. In this way, the point of food and wine tourism is to analyze gastronomic, the travel industry, and its true capacity, offering both hypothetical and down-to-earth contemplations. Food and wine. The travel industry has filled quickly in extension and notoriety in the beyond 20 years. Consequently, this distribution makes a significant commitment in a space of importance to sightseers, food and winemakers, and administrators in the business. Numerous objections are currently contending in the advancement of food and wine. The travel industry, some interestingly, and with the travel industry recognized as a vital driver of financial development, this is an area of developing interest. Food and wine tourism recognizes open doors for local development and advancement, whether through relocalizing or the restoration of conventional and true items. Food and wine. The travel industry contains 8 sections covering a great many subjects from both the vacationer's viewpoint and that of industry. These incorporate food traveler typologies, the gastronomic, the travel industry experience, and the meaning of terroir, qualities of scene related with food and wine creation. It is organized to incorporate plausible occasions of good practice and contextual investigation models from around the world, subsequently introducing an invigorating scope of contemporary and effective standpoints. Food and wine. The travel industry is recommended as sharing a portion of the elements of social. The travel industry and is depicted as a kind of coordinated social, the travel industry embracing food, wine, social history, and legacy. It is suggested that utilizing food and wine, it is feasible to foster the experience of the travel industry from rudimentary or center school trips, showing the associations between food, climate, maintainability, quality, and travel and the travel industry. It very well might be proper to consider the impact and osmosis of foodways, food and the travel industry from youth, and that through the vacationer life cycle or travel profession these may change and advance. Having considered the gastronomic points of view of the vacationer and the provider, the creators think about the capability of the business food outlet in food and wine. The travel industry. Croce and Perri equate the peruser with the idea of food and wine as keepsakes. The instances of providers of neighborhood produce and vacationers buying the item as an eatable/consumable gift are utilized to interface food to place and experience. It could be proper to foster this further as, for some travelers, getting ready and testing food at a food cookery school, wine sampling territorial wines in a nearby eatery will be basic in their relationship of spot with food. Part 6 presents animating and creative worldwide contextual investigations in view of 5 significant creation areas: winery, whiskey refinery, olive plant, dairy ranch, and distillery. These are utilized to show how the experience of movement and the travel industry gives a model to territorial and neighborhood improvement. For instance, craftsman makers, notwithstanding bigger business makers, embody the extension for food. The travel industry, demonstrating that there is potential for every player. With their instances of prospering food and wine attractions, destinations, and exercises, the contextual investigations in part on planning an educational encounter present useful contemplations on utilization, creation, promoting, and portioning the food, the travel industry market. Food and wine tourism will engage a wide crowd: scholastics, understudies in geology, the travel industry in neighborliness, and those in industry. The creators set off on a mission to introduce a strategic and logical methodology along with field research and have accomplished this point. Food and wine tourism makes a commendable commitment in fostering how we might interpret a significant the travel industry action. Visiting wine-creating districts is a true method for finding a nation's country and inland objections. Wineries open entryways for individuals to drench themselves in territorial culture and find out about wine and biodiversity and how local people connect with their customs and history. Wine the travel industry likewise goes about as a switch for the nearby economy, with the expansion in the travel industry offers, humble communities in the inside gain new business and occupation creation prospects. The presence of voyagers all through it is an assurance of food for the local area and nearby business visionaries. Those inspired by wine and gastronomy likewise make use, and a great deal, of wine the travel industry courses. It's an opportunity to investigate an objective through its flavors and track down unexpected, yet invaluable treasures. Regardless of whether the wine isn't the fundamental focal point of your entire excursion, you will gain some significant knowledge about the area's insides, their approach to everyday life, and the most outstanding aspect, get back with great names in your baggage. For the more inquisitive and courageous sightseers, wine visits upgrade your schedule with various and extraordinary encounters. Regardless of whether you are not an expert of the universe of wine, it merits saving a couple of days to visit wineries, walk around grape plantations, find out about food matching, and, who knows, find another side interest. Instances of wine the travel industry encounters. There are numerous ways of investigating and find a wine delivering district. A few encounters, like tasting meetings and visits to wineries, are exemplary and practically required. 1. Guided visits at wineries and wine basements. These are important for the fundamentals of any excursion to a wine-delivering locale. Getting to be aware very close the way that a winery works is the initial step to jumping into this universe. By far most of properties offer directed visits in their offices, where a teacher drives the travelers and makes sense of the creation bit by bit, from planting to packaging and telling the behind the stage of the wine world. 2. Wine museums. A few districts have explicit spots to share the historical backdrop of their wine creation. Hope to see as long-lasting or potentially nomad displays that educate seriously concerning the practices and creation techniques. 3. Tasting meetings. This is the chance to taste neighborhood wines really. In consecutive advances, various names are served in little amounts. At times, tastings are now remembered for the directed visits. 4. Grape celebrations. These are occasions in festival of the wine culture. Much of the time, they offer projects that incorporate melodic exhibitions, studios, and mark deals. Prior to boarding, it is really smart to check the nearby celebrations schedule. In the New World, in any case, in non-European nations, development is later, as is its set of experiences. Numerous areas of the New World were acquainted with the development of wine for the most part by Europeans, which is one more justification for calling them the New World. In these districts, the sort of grapes utilized underway, the emphasis on innovation, and more adaptable winemaking rehearses stick out. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.